Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime!
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million?
$30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you. Yeah.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Lily Etter with Boise State Volleyball. On the court, it's all about setting up the perfect play. And right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is serving up the perfect deal during our June anniversary sale. In volleyball, every point counts, and this June, every deal counts too. At Lithia Ford's anniversary sale, we're setting you up with incredible inventory and competitive pricing on all your favorite Ford models. Come see us at Lithia Ford of Boise, where your purchase helps support Boise State athletics through their NIL partnerships and athletic sponsorships. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, rowpaint.com, and the Blue and Orange store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Raines with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
What's up, Bronco Nation? Happy Monday, June 15th. Happy birthday to my brother. I need to call him after the show. Happy Monday, and happy, hope you had a good weekend. Happy U.S. Open week. We got some cool details to tell you about for that involving the Sun Cruiser golf bag behind me. I'll show you that here in a couple of minutes, but excited for a new week. here at Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. We've reached our top 5 on our 5 most important players to the Broncos in 2026. So we're going to dive into the big boys this week and really talk about the 5 most important players, the 5 star players, so to speak, of the team this year. And so those of you that have been asking for football talk, you're going to get plenty of it this week here on the show. We got folks chiming in from everywhere, from Minnesota to Belleville, Illinois to Caldwell. And we got D-Ray in Florida waiting for his plumber and AC guy to show up. Welcome to Monday. So, all right, hope they show up there quickly for you, D-Ray. Appreciate all of you guys for joining us, and happy to go and ready to roll here on a Monday. We bring in our man, Jay Tust. We're switching up. Once again, Brad Bedell is in some exotic place on his month-long vacation, and we've had to swap days here. So, Jay, appreciate you. I think you're still muted there, but we appreciate you for making it work on a Monday on short notice again to fill in. Not many people can fill in for Brad Bedell, but I think Jay Tust might be the one guy on our payroll that can do it.
No, don't put that one on me. I want no part of attempting to fill those shoes. Those are gargantuan shoes to fill. So he's way funnier. And as he likes to say, better looking than the both of us. So
how close are you guys in the bench press?
Me and Brad Bedell?
Yes.
Oh, God, I don't no idea.
You might have him. You might. I don't know if Brad's maxing these days. He's I don't know. That might be a.
I mean, I'm not maxing these days either. I'm just trying to survive.
Maybe, I know. For charity or something for the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. Let's have a Brad Bedell, Jay Tust bench competition.
There it is. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Another long weekend at the ball fields, Jay. It was a little warmer this weekend on Sunday afternoon. We were out there for all weekend, it seemed like, but it was it's you wake up on a Monday morning and you get up a little early to get a head start. But I'm ready to roll. But the weekend of baseball took its toll on it. I'm not even playing. I'm just standing there. The problem is I can't sit, Jay. I can't sit in I can't sit in the folding chair right behind home and just sit there quietly. I get too nervous for my kids, and I also I've never been able to sit still. Like I'm shaking my leg right now. So I can't sit still. So I do pace a lot, and I'll kind of walk in the outfield to watch my kid bat. I'll go stand over by third base, talk to that parent. I'll go over to first base side, and so my feet are probably more sore than my kids after these games here. But you're close, man. We talked about it last week. You're close to getting there, but there's nothing better, man. That's what the summer's for, and these weekends of baseball. And in middle of November, I will be wishing I had a chance to sit outside in the sun and watch 6 baseball games.
Yeah,
so.
I can't even imagine how nerve-wracking it would be. I remember my pops would we get a little nervous. He'd pace the left field side or left field foul territory or whatever behind the fence. I didn't play, obviously, but I remember that. So I can only imagine how nerve-wracking it's going to be.
There's nothing like it, man. Like I played, not super competitive, but played in high school and then played like club ball, like I said, at Kansas. And that was basically it. But I didn't have a very long or illustrious career at all. But there's nothing like it, man. You can't do anything about it. You just stand there and you hope your kid doesn't strike out. And it really is, especially now with, as they get a little bit older and it's a little more competitive, like it's, getting a little heated in the stands. It's fun, but back at it this week. Both of them back in action. Dairy Days. We'll be out there for 12 plus games between the two this weekend. So you need to come hang out and watch a game, Jay. Bring the family.
Yeah. When's it start?
That might help me maybe not calm down a little bit if you got the family there to hang out.
When does it start?
We don't have the schedule yet. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I know you have some family. Do you have a nephew or you got someone that plays out there? So maybe the times will overlap or something. We need you to give a pregame pep talk to the team, and that might help be the difference.
Dude, Naismith's dropping jacks. He doesn't need help from me, that's for sure.
Anyone could always improve their game by hearing a little pregame speech. Jay Tust spoke to the College of Idaho football team once, and they went out and won like 70-0 that game, I think. So
exactly. Yeah, I remember how that one started. It didn't. Honestly, I missed my point off the top, but I will say that they did have an unbelievable year that year. I think they went 11-1 or something. So no big deal.
Why didn't Jay loan BJ any of his hair product? I kind of just put a little water on it and threw it up there. I was going to go hat, and I thought it looks pretty good today, to be honest. So I'm just going to let it, the little messy No one can pull off Jay's hair, but I can at least try to come in second, I guess. But Jay, as I mentioned earlier on the show, we are giving away this golf bag right here. I want to give a quick plug for this. I pinned the where's it at here? I pinned the here it is, the link. If you want to go on the YouTube chat here and find the link, our friends at Sun Cruiser wanted to do something with the U.S. Open golf tournament this week. I know this is not Boise State related. Are there any Boise State golfers in the U.S. Open this week? I don't know if any. I'm not sure. I need to look. I know. Didn't was it TK Kim that just qualified, or when was that one?
He got in through qualifying.
Okay, so that's what I thought. Okay, I started to say that, and then I was like, wait a minute, I might be wrong. No,
yep, you're right.
We'll get to that in a second. But first, here's the bag. Really nice golf bag, like super nice, expensive Sun Cruiser cart bag. And we also have some Sun Cruisers we're giving away. It's free. You don't have to be a subscriber, nothing. Let's just stuff the ballot box here with a lot of entries. You can probably do one for every email address you have. If you want more, you just pick like 6 golfers. You don't even have to know much about golf. They break it into tiers for you. So you just pick one of these 8 golfers, pick one of these 8 golfers, pick one of these 8 golfers, and then you have a chance to win that golf bag or some free Sun Cruisers as well. Jay, the only caveat to this is you either have to live in Boise or you have to be willing to pay for the shipping. You can't win this in North Carolina and expect us to send it to you. We're not losing money on this thing. So you either have to know somebody in Boise you can give it to, or like I said, be willing to Venmo us for the shipping costs, and we'll get it out to you. But you can win the golf bag. We're also going to have some Sun Cruisers. Couple cases we'll give away to second and third, I think, maybe a t-shirt. So appreciate Justin and the whole crew over at Sun Cruiser for wanting to give away this golf bag. And like I said, you don't even really have to know much about golf. It starts on Thursday, the U.S. Open. So you need to have it in by 5 a.m. Mountain Time on Thursday. Jump in Idaho. Made my picks this morning. All right. Appreciate it. Sounds great. So it's free. Jump on in, have a little fun. And if you win a golf bag. You can give it to somebody else if you don't golf. You can try the Sun Cruiser cases. If you don't drink, give them to somebody else. So let's get a lot of people and have some fun. It takes like 30 seconds, if that, to enter. Click on the link there in the YouTube comments. And yes, former Boise State golfer TK Kim, right? Did qualify, Jay?
Yeah, correct.
Went through a couple levels, I believe, of the qualifying rounds.
You have to go through a local.
Show, correct?
You have to go through the local qualifier to qualify for the final one, and then through there you can get exemption into the U.S. Open. So TK is a grinder, man. Excuse me. He's it's been a decade plus, I think, since he actually graduated, since he suited up for Boise State. So he's been out grinding on various professional tours. So this is a huge opportunity for him. Yeah, well, I don't think the pairings are out yet, so we'll monitor that later in the week here. But a little Boise State flavor, a little reason to watch, and sign up, pick your entries, and you might have a chance to win this golf bag here. Jay, we're on to number 5 today, Sire Gaines, but I did want to give you a brief opportunity. We had a couple, what I would call big names late last week as well, in Matt Wagner and then also Jaden Mickey. I'm curious if you want to give a thought on Jaden Mickey, because I mentioned this with Prater on Friday, but I thought that he really took a step forward for me in the spring, in particular in the leadership, and in particular in some of the things he did in terms of what I saw at practice, in terms of just talking to guys. There was a little trash talking, but it wasn't like anything. It was a good trash talk, I guess. He was had guys behind him, and I even told the story, Jay, where I don't know what we're supposed to say from practice, but they did a game at the end of practice with 2 kickers, and you could pick which. You went to the side of the field that you thought that kicker was going to win, and there were a lot of people on one side of the field, and a lot of people ran to that side of the field to be with a certain kicker. And Jaden Mickey went against the grain when he saw everybody going to the other side, and him and one other guy, and I apologize, I'd give that guy credit, but I forget who it was, ran across the grain to the other side, basically to support the kicker that wasn't getting as much support as the other guys. And I just took that as a sign of leadership, and I thought that was a really cool moment. And I think he's healthy, second year in the program. Confidence-wise, one of these team leaders. I would suspect he's going to be right there to be a team captain, I think, when it's all said and done. If not, he's going to just barely miss the list. But I think Jaden Mickey could be in store for a big season here. And we had him at number 6. I think you could make a strong argument he could have been even higher than that. He's going to play a massive role on and off the field for this team. I think both those guys that you mentioned, Matt Wagner and Jaden Mickey, are going to be on the short list of guys that could potentially wind up with one of the coveted 4 captain positions. Jaden made huge steps last year, 38 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, a sack. Now he's obviously going to be bumping back outside this year. At least that's what, everything pointed to in the spring. Maybe that changes by the time the season rolls around, but last year he played more of that nickel spot. Now he's going to go out to corner. And I know that Spencer Danielson really likes him and his covering ability. So, it's going to be fun to see how Jaden does at that position this year. And, even talking with some of those guys, like you get in so late last year and you're really only just trying to find your own footing, right? Like Jaden didn't get here till basically, right before fall camp. But now he's had, almost a full year in the program. He's found his voice. He will be a leader. And I just think he brings tremendous energy to the field each and every day. So excited to see what Jaden Mickey can do this year. And then Matt Wagner, man, I think a lot of Matt Wagner, BJ. I think that Matt Wagner is going to be the next in a long line of really successful tight ends here. And, when you look at Wags' size, he's more in the ballpark of a John Bates. So the football career for Matt Wagner does not stop in college. I firmly believe he will have a run in the NFL as well.
Matt Wagner, Ben Ford, and Jaden Mickey, I think we're 8, 7, and 6 in some order there. But now we've reached the top 5, and we're going to start that off with number 5, Sire Gaines. What are your thoughts on Sire Gaines? What's a over-under for yards for Sire Gaines? How you feeling about that Gaines and obviously Dylan Riley combo? Get those in the ICCU YouTube chat. Your thoughts on Sire Gaines, and we'll get to that in just a second here, Jay. But I do want to thank Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor. Check them out, lithiafordboise.com. That anniversary sale is going on. And our man Bob Schuler, the old catcher for the baseball team, a good friend of ours, big supporter of BNN, he sent me an email that he purchased a new car. Actually sent me a photo. I'll have to put that in the chat for tomorrow of him and Jim Sturk out in front with his vehicle, and he said it was a great process every step of the way. So if you're looking for a new vehicle, Lithia Ford of Boise, they are ready to help you guys out. Our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise. Go check them out there on Fairview Avenue in Boise, or view their full inventory of vehicles at lithiafordboise.com. I mentioned the golf contest through Sun Cruiser. Again, go to the link on our ICCU YouTube comments here. It takes 30 seconds. You can get it done before the show ends. Make your picks, and you could win a nice Sun Cruiser golf bag or some cases of Sun Cruiser, again, from our friends at Sun Cruiser. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Pearson Carmichael and others, they got the NIL deals now with a lot of the student athletes. They're on board as an official sponsor with Learfield, and so we appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union for their support, and they do a great job, Idaho Central Credit Union, supporting the local community and things. So check them out at ICCU.com. And also, I'll throw in a quick plug for Jackson's. Save up to $32 at Roaring Springs when you buy 2 Coca-Cola products from our friends at Jackson's. $32. That's right. Just buy 2 Coca-Cola products. You get a voucher for $8 off. You can use it up to 4 times from our friends at Jackson's or Extra Mile. And don't forget, now the World Cup's going on, 99-cent Let's Go rewards, the bigger fountain drink. So you can get the bigger fountain drink for just 99 cents anytime, day or night, using Let's Go rewards. All right, Jay, I think Sire Gaines at number 5, some people might say, how is he not 2? How is he not 3? How is he not 1? Sire Gaines obviously is going to be a massive part of this team. But again, this is importance to the team on this list. And when you do have Dylan Riley as well, who we haven't got to, and maybe we're wrong on this list. Let us know in the comments. Who would you have ranked higher as the more important player, Dylan Riley or Sire Gaines? It's 1A and 1B. I don't think you're necessarily wrong, with whichever direction you go. They're obviously different, style and types of running backs. And but because, if you're going just best players, Jay, they're probably both in the top 2 or 3. But when you do say, okay, well, if something were to happen to one, you still have the other one. That's why we have Sire Gaines probably 5th and not 3rd, to be honest with you. I think folks can see we haven't talked about Jaden Virgin Morgan yet. We haven't talked about Bowen Phelps yet. We haven't talked about Maddox Madsen yet. And we haven't talked about Dylan Riley yet. So that's your 5 in some order there. I totally get the argument. How is he 5? He's way too low. But again, it's not best. It's most important. And when you do have 2 running backs, I think you can make a case the second one wouldn't even have to be in the top 5, but I think the top 5 is a good spot, and I think 5 you can argue is too low, like I said. But just because, and just explaining ourselves, you do have 2 of them. If one were to go down, it's not quite as huge of a loss as, say, if Madsen goes down or something like that. So what do you make of Sire Gaines at number 5, Jay? And Dylan Riley, I know, kind of came out of nowhere, but a healthy Sire Gaines, I think, is still a heck of a player that is going to have a huge impact on this season.
That's the first time it's happened in a long time.
It was like the second time in 20 minutes here. Come on.
I didn't talk the first time. I was just nodding.
I just looked down and saw it was muted. But
first time it happened in a long time.
All right.
I was trying to, respect your ad read.
$5 to the $5 to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission donation
fine.
there.
Makes sense.
Right.
That's fine. 5 that's perfect. No, but as you were saying about Cy, like that's the guy where like he's going to put up good stats, but he impacts the whole program just by the way that he shows up every day. He operates with a certain mentality that is as unique as any since I personally have been covering the Boise State football team. He is intense. He runs angry. And I think that he is one of the more important players of the Boise State football team and their success this year. He's had 2 seasons for Boise State where you could really point to a couple of moments and say, wow, look at this guy. But, I think that, I would say neither season's been really fair to him, though. At Georgia Southern, he goes off, right? Like Ashton Genty, rushes for 271 yards and everybody's talking about him. And then this true freshman, oh, by the way, has over 100 total yards and multiple touchdowns in that same game, right? And then, the next game he gets hurt and he misses the rest of the year. And so then he comes back last year, but it's when you're coming off significant injuries, you're still playing catch up. And I do think personally, trying to fill the shoes of Ashton Genty, sometimes like you might just be trying to do too much. But once you lean into like who you are and your role and just be yourself, I think that's the best situation to be in. And, I think that a performance that definitely embodied that was the Colorado State game where he rushed for a career high 149 yards, I believe it was, against the Rams. And Boise State really hung it on. Really put it on Colorado State that day. But another thing I think we forget, BJ, is that technically he was a freshman last year. He was a redshirt freshman last year. And when you look at the stats that he put up, there are only 4 other freshmen, again, whether true or redshirting, that had more rushing yards than Cy did last year. His 811 rushing yards, 4th most in the country amongst all freshmen. He also scored 8 touchdowns. So, I think that the standard, the bar was so high for Cy. I don't want that, or I don't think that should get in the way of proper perspective here. And he was one of the better freshman running backs in all of college football last year. The stats say it.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Jay. It is tough because they have this 2-headed monster here, and both these guys, and we're going to talk more about Dylan Riley, obviously, in a couple of days. I'll just say that. But this era, like, they're pretty lucky, and I know somebody on here, speaking of lucky, wanted to say, where is it at here? Our San Diego State fan, appreciate you, Aztec Mike, for watching, but did want to remind us that Lucky Sutton was the first team All Mountain West running back, Jay. Thanks for the reminder.
What up, Aztec Mike?
Appreciate the reminder there. We are lucky to have Sire and Dylan on the roster, folks. And I guess, like, either one of these guys could rush for, I don't want to say Ashton Genty type numbers, but if they were getting, the lion's share of the carries, they would have a little bit higher numbers. But when they split it up, like, they're both going to, I know the 1,000 yards for each of them is their goal. Sire finished how many shy? He was not super shy.
What was that? 189 rushing yards shy. He was, I want to say, 117 yards from scrimmage shy of 1K, though.
And I know they both, and I think that's very doable, to be honest, them both rushing for 1,000 yards. But you know what? They bought in. They got whatever NIL package kept them happy. They love Boise. They love the team. They bought in, and Boise State's certainly going to benefit. But Sire Gaines, he was supposed to be, and he still has a chance and is. I'm just saying, like, at the time when he busted on as a freshman, you mentioned it. We mentioned that first game, and it was like, oh, wow, Ashton Genty did this, but Sire Gaines did what? Like it was like, oh my gosh. Like, and so he was building to be this next guy. And then Dylan Riley kind of came on and kind of, I don't want to say poo-pooed it, but slowed down that momentum a little bit just because of what he was doing himself. But I mean, make no mistake about it. I mean, Sire Gaines, was it 154 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns, I believe, in the Georgia Southern game. Had the Portland State game that kind of, obviously suffered when he got hurt, and 811, I guess it was, you said last year, 8 touchdowns, 5 yards per carry. How about this though, Jay? This is in Nathan Carroll's story here. Was not at all Mountain West honors. Nothing. No Mountain West honors for Sire Gaines last year. He finished still as the second highest rated running back in the conference, according to Pro Football Focus. He was the second highest rated running back. He says in large part due to 46 missed tackles for Sire Gaines last year. He forced 46 missed tackles, third highest in the conference. And that's, Jay, only on 162 carries. Basically 1 out of every 4 carries, he made somebody miss at least once, and some of them were more than that. Now, he also, Jay, second in the conference, 58 first down runs for Sire Gaines last year. So I mentioned them being 2 different styles, and let's not kid ourselves. Sire Gaines has plenty of speed. He's not he's got a little more power maybe than Dylan Riley, and maybe he's a little more of a short yardage, 4th down, get the first down. But I mean, I've seen them. We got plenty of runs where Sire Gaines can outrun people too. Like he's not, Jerome Bettis back there or something where we're just going to put him on 4th and 1. Like he's got speed, but they are different style of running backs, Jay, which does help them kind of play off each other in different ways.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, Cy can run away from people, but I also think, like, man, when you get him in the box, when you get him in short yardage situations, like he just runs with this mentality that is like made for those moments, right? And then on the flip side of that, like, man, Dylan does have another gear though. Like Dylan can go, man. And when you find a way to perfectly use these 2 running backs and balance it all out, like I think it's got the chance to be really, really dangerous. And even that guy that was back here, the monster truck driver a couple of weeks ago that played football in college, he was saying that he thinks that duo can be one of the best running back duos in all of college football. And so I guess that guy that drives monster trucks that was back here that also played college football knows what it takes to be successful at Boise State. And he knows those 2 guys particularly very well. So I'm excited based off what he said. I'm excited to see what those 2 can do this year.
No doubt about it. And I'm not going to give all the way. I don't like doing this, giving away all the numbers. We want you to pay and subscribe, and you can read it all at BroncoNationNews.com. But, he did talk about, even though he was healthy last year, Jay, like there was still a game against Air Force where he only had 3 carries. There was 4 other games where he had less than 10 carries after the Air Force game, where maybe was kind of quietly banged up a little bit or dealing with some stuff. So even though he was available in playing every game, you still would like to keep him as healthy as possible this season. One major area of growth for Gaines, according to Nathan, he'd like to see would be the ball security. Did have 4 fumbles last season, tied for the second most of any running back in the country, believe it or not, was 4 fumbles. And he was the only running back with a top 50 Pro Football Focus grade for at least 4 fumbles. So what do you make of his ball security? And a lot of those are fighting for 3rd and 4th downs there. And there's a lot of guys, we saw it with Genty, just 10 different hands pounding at the ball, but you'd like to see the 4 fumbles get cut down a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody would agree with that. Like even Cy, like, but again, his running style, it's so tough because he is the type that takes on contact and doesn't go down easy. And when you're fighting for those extra yards versus just running away in space, like those are those moments where maybe you can cough up the rock a little bit. But I think that that's something that he knows and wants to probably emphasize this season as well. But I think that as you look to really establish the culture and lean on those types of things in the NIL era to make a place enjoyable, to keep winning, to set a standard. Again, I just think that Cy's mentality is just like, in all honesty, his mentality might be second to none on the football team because he operates with a different level of urgency than, I mean, almost anybody that I've ever covered at Boise State. It's pretty wild. I mean, like, I always joke around, but it's not really a joke. When we interview Cy, man, like, he's so intense. It's like he's staring through your soul while you're asking him a question. And it not necessarily, and I don't mean like there's no negative connotation there. He's a really nice guy, but like, he is just so intense and passionate that it's noticeable when you interview him.
And you better have a strong grip when you're ready to shake his hand.
You better bring it. Yeah, you're down on the goal line, or you got to shake his hand. You better bring it.
So what do you? What would you put the over at for rushing yards for Sire Gaines this year?
Man.
And is he? If we got our friends at Circa right here. I got the hat right here from Circa. If there was a line of gambling odds at Circa, as I just knocked down or Ford's. We love Ford too, but I just knocked this down. Who would be the favorite to rush for more yards this year, Dylan Riley or Sire Gaines? Probably Dylan Riley, based on last year leading the team in rushing and being back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even gambling lines aside. I think that Dylan Riley is the favorite to lead the team in rushing. I mean, he did last year, and I think my point would be how big of an underdog, like. How big of a gap is that? And how shocking would it be if Gaines just breaks out and has this monster season and ends up leading? It honestly, it wouldn't shock me, but I also fully expect whatever jump Cy makes, I fully expect Dylan to make too.
Sure.
So even if you say Sire goes out and gets 300 more rushing yards, like, I fully expect Dylan to make that similar jump himself, if not more. Like, I just do. I think that these guys are now moving into, they're upperclassmen now, essentially, when you look at, like, maybe not playing status, but in terms of, like, their, like, academic status, they're upperclassmen now, right? So I think they've played a lot of ball. They've seen a lot of ball. The game's going to start to slow down for them. They both had, these huge workloads last year where they could go back and critique themselves this offseason, find these little areas to get better. You talk to both of them, and they both feel like they left yards out there last year. So I do think that Dylan leads the team in rushing personally. I do think there's a similar gap from what we saw between the two last year, in all honesty, but I still expect both to have more. So, like I said, whatever jump Cy makes, I also expect Dylan to make this year when it comes to that production.
And again, the luxury they have, two guys that in all likely will or can or should, however you want to phrase it, rush for 1,000 yards each. One guy did it last year, and we mentioned how close. Do you think Gaines gets there this year?
1,000?
Yes.
I do. I think that –
because it's not just him. It's Riley, and it's the carry distribution, and there's a lot more to it than just can he rush for 1,000 yards.
I mean, the first two games aren't easy. Like, they're not. And so they're at Oregon, and they're at home against Memphis, and those are two really big games, obviously, for Boise State, not just in terms of individual production, but in terms of seeing if they can make the college football playoff again this year. But I do. I think he gets to 1,000, and I think the question for me is, can both of them combined get to 2601? That's a monster number. We saw one individual.
I was gonna say, why do you not just 2,600? You went 01 there.
I wonder why. It's a monster number. We saw one individual a couple of years ago go get that figure here at Boise State. Now, can two guys go do it? And in all honesty, Ashton Genty was unfreaking believable, but they didn't have a lot of depth behind him that year after Cy went down, right? So it really was up to Ash week in and week out to go get the damn job done, and he absolutely did. But to expect that to happen again is not super realistic, just because you don't, in all honesty, you don't really want to be in that circumstance to where you have to ride a guy for almost 400 touches in a season. I mean, last time they did that was Jay Ajayi, who had over 2,300 yards from scrimmage that year, over 1,800 yards rushing, is 1,823, I believe. I think it was exactly that. It was really funny because Ash had more carries than Jay, but Jay had more receptions. And when you added it all up, they actually both had the same amount of touches from on scrimmage on offense that during those respective years. But can Dylan and Cy put themselves in the ballpark to even threaten that number? I think that would be I mean, that would be massive if they do. It would be massive. But I think you're looking at like a 15, with a 15, 11, 16, 1,000, somewhere in that. Like, I think that's reasonable. I do. I do think that I know I'm not going to talk about him, so I'll say it, but I do think Dylan's a guy that could put himself in the 1,600 yard range.
I was actually going to finish up by having you give a thought on Dylan because you aren't going to be on the day we talk about him. So hold that for a second. But you can't run a consistent 2B running back set in college football anymore. It's simply not a thing for successful teams. We're going on 3 years of trying to explain this, Vlad, a few times a game, sure. Both of them out there on the field together, Jay. I know that's exciting and people want to see it, but we saw a little bit of it and maybe we'll see some of it, but that's not something they've done a ton.
It's not, and I think that the year that you wanted to see them do that the most was actually Ashton's freshman year when George Halani, sophomore year, I guess that would have been, when George Halani was, in his final year of eligibility at Boise State, and then an injury at UW in the season opener, pretty much, threw that off course before it could really even get started for that matter. But, one thing I will say, though, is that I do think that the depth they have at running back is overall a little more attractive this year. I mean, maybe it's just because he wears J.J.'s number, but I thought Harry Stewart, God bless the kid for being able to get out of his previous situation.
I knew that was coming. I knew something was coming.
Now he can actually maximize his abilities at a real school. No, I'm just kidding.
Whenever we talk Harry Stewart, we can just put on a KU hat. And
I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, I think you saw him get a lot better even as the spring went along, and he's a little more stout, I would say.
Well, they like the Pitt transfer too. He was just hurt. I mean, they got some guys there.
I think what they did though, like so oftentimes when you think of running backs or a depth chart, you think of like your pecking order 1 through 5, right? But for me, I feel like the way they've kind of built it this year is you have Dylan Riley, and then you have a guy on the depth chart that whether he is 3 or 4 or 12, whatever, I don't know. But you have Dylan Riley, and then you have a guy that is very similar to Dylan Riley that you feel like, you're not going to have to change everything if somebody gets banged up.
Yeah.
And then same with Sire Gaines and Harry Stewart, right? Like, again, I don't know exactly what order everybody is on the depth chart that runs linearly or whatever, but like I think that they have found guys to back up guys and what they do, and so I think it's actually a pretty attractive way in how they've built this, and I'm excited to see the Pitt guys. You said, man, like I think that they like him, but we didn't really get a chance to see him in the spring, and now we're going to move forward into fall camp here in like a month and a half and cut it loose.
Hey, shout out to Eli Jaramillo 7945 watching from Guatemala. I might be our first ever Guatemalan viewer there, Jay. So we appreciate Eli for checking us out down there in Guatemala. So I heard maybe we're big down there. I don't know, Jay, but
it's beautiful down there this time of year.
Yeah. So maybe let us know why you're watching from down there. But appreciate you, Eli, and thanks for watching. So, all right. By the way, Jay, we had the Horseshoe Collective basketball camp over the weekend that I was hyping up. My kid went to that. Quick highlight here. Now, this is my son on the left and Matt Boucher's daughter, Nia Boucher. Look at the assist from Boucher to Raines, and it's good. It is good. We had the layup there just to kind of show my kid up. Here's Nia Boucher, one-handed with the left-handed layup there. Yeah, very impressive. But kids had a great time at the camp. It was a lot of fun, and there's another one in July, Jay. I met a gentleman, I can't remember his name, and I really apologize, but he said that he signed up his son because he heard about it, and he was really nice, and I appreciate him coming up and talking to me, and I apologize that I don't remember his name, but they're doing another one in July. It was a really cool camp, and if you're thinking about it, not sure if your kid would like it, I think you totally should go do the basketball camp. It was worth it, and my kid had a great time, and after the very first day of camp, I didn't go because we had my other son at a baseball game. So when I saw him later in the day, I said, "So how was basketball camp, Naismith?" He said, "Well, Dad, I found out that I'm not that good at basketball." So we're to maybe stick to baseball long term, but he had a good time. He had fun. You see some of the coaches there, Pearson Carmichael, Ethan Lathan. You got Bun and Ray, obviously. So it was a fun time, and he had a really good time. And good shout out to Joe Nickel and everybody over there at the Horseshoe Camps, Jay. And they got another one coming up in July. So I highly do recommend that you get autographs, you get a shirt, you get to a lot of one-on-one time with these players. They were coaching the camp and actually out there running the drills, and it was a pretty cool deal. So shout out to the Horseshoe Collective Camp. And if you were on the fence thinking about it, I highly recommend you go ahead and sign up there. It was a good time.
That's awesome. What grade is Naismith in now?
He's about to be a middle schooler, dude, 6th grade.
That's insane. So I was it was right around the same time that I found out that I was not very good at basketball. I'd play at recess and have so much fun, but then it came to the organized game. I played, I think it was my 7th grade year. I signed up to play for the middle school team, and I found out that I was a baseball player destined to also be a football player, and certainly not a basketball player.
Yeah. It was fun to watch him. I stuck around for a little bit on Sunday. Cool camp. They do a nice job. But yeah, he came home and said, Dad, I'm not that good at basketball. I said, that's all right. You got you moving, got you sweating a little bit on a weekend, had a good time. And so there's another one in July, horseshoecamps.com. You can get more information. They do volleyball camps, soccer camps, football. And this is different, Jay. I think folks know this, but like this is how they can directly give payments to the players. And so the coaches, get paid to be out there. And it's a way, if you're obviously big portion of it is your kid and having fun and getting them out there and doing all the stuff for them to improve their skills, which they do a lot of, but you're also supporting directly these players because they get a percentage and a paycheck for working these camps. So it's a cool new way to help them out at the same time. So,
yep.
Give me Dylan Riley. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's awesome. It's a great idea. And as you said, in this era, you have to be creative, and it's a way that these guys, can get taken care of, and they get to spend some time in the community or with the community as well.
Yeah, Matt Boucher, I mentioned his daughter and his son were out there. Talked to him and his wife on Sunday. They were there watching a little bit as well. So he gave a promo code and took care of the $50 fee for some of the players that used it. So hope he took advantage of it, and we'll see if there's another one in July. But Matt Boucher, BoucherRealEstate.com, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Check him out, Matt Boucher, BoucherRealEstate.com, TacoBellWorks.com. Nicolason Family, SON Management Group. You're looking for a delicious meal, Taco Bell. Highly recommend Taco Bell, Treasure Valley Taco Bell location, whether it's the Cantina line. I mean, they're changing the menu daily, folks, so perfect time. And we're going to be trying to hit up the fields a lot this week with a big tournament this weekend, so I'm sure we'll be hitting up Taco Bell before practice, after practice. Check them out. Visit a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today. We had Travis Hawks on the show last week telling you all about the Blue and Orange store and what they got going on. You can get this customized jacket, and they have all the other officially licensed Boise State merchandise. You can get it at the Blue and Orange store online, theblueandorangestore.com. Check out our sponsors at the Blue and Orange store, whether it's the mall location, the Allen Noble Hall of Fame location. You can order anywhere in the world online at theblueandorangestore.com. And our friends at Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. Check them out. You can leave us a voicemail if you'd like, and we'll play it on an upcoming show. But whether it's a complete re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection, you can check out our friends at Signature Roofing online, mysignatureroofing.com. All right, Jay, final thing for you. You mentioned Dylan Riley. He's obviously going to be pretty high on our list. I don't want to give it away, but what do you make of, and again, it does play into the Sire Gaines effect, because if you didn't have Sire Gaines, maybe that's another 75 carries or something that goes Dylan Riley's way. Who knows? So the stats could be different if he were somewhere or here where he's clearly the number one and there's clearly another option, but you could also argue keeping him fresh and maybe not having 30 carries a game will help him later in the season and keep him healthy as well. So everybody knows his story, Jay, and obviously has overcome a lot, and he's an easy guy to root for and kind of burst onto the scene and is, going to have a heck of a career, it looks like, here, professionals, whatever. But what can you say about Dylan Riley and your outlook for him this season?
Man, like I said earlier, I think very highly of Dylan Riley as a human and a football player. And I think that you saw a kid that found some confidence last year, rushed for over 1,100 yards, showed off that explosive burst that makes him super unique. And now he's a guy that's going to go back into the film room and find a way to get even better this season, put a little more body armor on, things like that. And I think he's a guy that could make a jump into that 1,500-yard range. I really do. I believe it. 1,600, I want to say too, but that's a lot of rushing yards. And I think when you're working in a backfield where you do feel like it's so talented, you have to give everybody else carries. That's a lot of rushing yards when you're splitting carries. But I do think Dylan's got some ability, man, and I think he will be one of, if not the most explosive player for the Boise State football team on offense, coming up this season.
Well, Jay, yeah, excited, and it's a, like I said, a nice problem to have two guys like that, and pretty cool in this day and era. They were able to hang on to both of them and keep them both here, and so looking forward to seeing what both those guys can do. Jay, appreciate you for switching days again. What else? Yeah. I know we're not doing the regularly scheduled, live shows, but we saw the Max Rice interview. I know you have some other things. What are we working on for Bronco Studios right now?
Yeah, we're going to drop some with Jabril Frazier here today. We're going to do it. We were going to do it late last week, but I bumped it over to Monday here. So he was down on a fellowship with the LA Rams. And honestly, BJ, it's pretty cool when you think about it, because I know that the Rams can be a little bit of a sore subject in these boxes that you're witnessing right here. But Jabril's from LA, and so to go back home and get the chance to spend some time with Sean McVay and the Rams, I think that's a pretty cool full circle moment. And so we're going to chat with Jabril. And by the way, he was in the building when the whole Verse Garrett trade went down. Likely the biggest trade of the offseason in the NFL. And
nice.
It just so happened that he was in the building when all that happened. So we'll have some fun stories with Jabril.
Yelling at my kids. Something just happened in a video game and they're cheering, and so I had to tell them to shut up there. So working from home, man.
This
summer. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know what Fortnite or what the game was. We're trying to limit the video game time, but Mondays my wife has to go into the office to work, so it's kind of like go leave me alone for an hour and play, and they just won something, so I don't know. Jay, appreciate you, man, for jumping on. I'm going to keep this rolling for a few minutes, but appreciate you as always, especially for making this Monday work. We'll be checking out Bronco Studios. Again, the Boise State Athletics YouTube channels where folks can go subscribe and be ready for that. And we're 2 weeks away from the watch party on the Blue for the Pac-12, or not watch party, but the Pac-12 launch party.
Are you
and
coming?
I'm sure they're,
Are you coming?
I believe so. I have a friend coming in town that I may just have to bring with me that evening. But
bring him
it's our buddy Tyler that works at Circa. He's coming to go golfing and hang out. He's going to go golfing and hang out for a few days, and so maybe I'll bring him down so he can see everybody down there at BSU and hang out, and I'll get him a one-day press pass or something.
I mean, I can't wait for the BNN golf, the BNN golf crew tournament. So
Yes, that's the Monday. That's take off Monday the 29th. That's when we're.
What are you taking us, boss man?
Let's go. We could go wherever you want, Jay. I mean, I'm sure you can get us on Hillcrest or any of these nice courses in town here.
Definitely not.
Spurwing.
We'll have to find one that I haven't been kicked off of. So yeah.
Why for Jay? We need the ones with the widest fairways possible.
Exactly. Yep. And no houses, preferably.
Yeah. Well, Jay, appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, Jay Tust, best in the business. Again, Bronco Studios, Boise State Athletics YouTube channel. Go check that out. All right, I got something I want to say. There's a couple of you in the chat alluding to something, and I'll touch on it briefly here in a second about some bad news for the maybe the basketball team. Let me thank a couple more sponsors real quick. Element Fencing, elementfencing.com. Decks, cedar, wrought iron, vinyl. They can do it all. Decks, pergolas. The best in the business, folks. They fixed our fence. They can do the same for you. 208-631-2790. If you have a fence you need completely replaced, maybe a repair to your fence, they can help you out at Element Fencing online, elementfencing.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Check them out as well. Was over there at the Star location over the weekend. Unbelievable. Had never been to the Star location. We were coming back from Middleton after a long day of baseball. Went in there and got some stuff to barbecue, and it was tremendous. It was a great experience. I'm not just saying that because they're a sponsor. The self-checkout kiosks were the easiest I've ever used. You need to check out Ridley's, folks. Great locally family-owned business, and they do tremendous work, and they've got better prices and just a better, you want to support local, support Ridley's, and we appreciate them for their support of BNN. The CUNA location's great. Middleton, as I said, I went to the Star location, saw the Middleton location there when we were in Middleton. So Ridley's Family Markets online, shopridleys.com. Ropaint.com as well, roepaint.com, whether it's interior, exterior painting, concrete coatings. You can check them out at ropaint.com, roepaint.com, ropaint.com. We appreciate them for their support. And again, those concrete coatings can transform that ugly concrete slab in just one day. They did it twice on our old house, and they will do the same for you, ropaint.com. All right, couple of you in the chat are referencing maybe an injury or some bad news for the basketball team, whatever. All I'll say is only like 2 hours. We're going to try to get a story up. There's just more involved, folks. There's hurrying to break a story, and then there's doing it before the player, the team, whatever, is ready to put it out there. And there's personal feelings, and this is personal college kids we're dealing with who have a lot going on in their lives, and obviously when it's something negative that happens, it impacts just their mental state and their well-being. And it's obviously I have paying subscribers. I have a job to do. I want to break a story, sure, but there's more to it than that. And these are college students and college athletes, and they have friends and families, and they have, like I said, a lot going on. And so you're not wrong if some of you in the chat are alluding to something. There's something did happen, and we'll have a story out hopefully in the next couple of hours. And it is unfortunate news for the basketball team, no doubt. But I don't think right now on the show is the time for me to go into detail on it and break it, but I am working on it. There'll be a story out later this morning or this afternoon. There was an unfortunate injury on the basketball team that will impact the availability at the start of the season for a player that was supposed to be a key contributor this year. Again, I don't think it's fair to just for my ego, whatever, just to say I broke a story to come on here and talk about the specifics now. Want to make sure that everything is, ready to go in terms of the player knowing that it's coming out and things like that. In this case, don't have to do it. Could have just tweeted it and said it now and put it out there, when I found out about it the other day. But like I said, I think when you're talking about something like this, these are college kids. You want to make sure that everything that needs to be done on the back end is done before you rush to get something out there, and that you're not hurting the mental well-being or anything of any of these athletes and stuff. So there's more to it than just breaking a story, but you're not wrong. I wasn't going to say anything about it because like 4 of you commented on it and already know somehow, which I don't know how you guys all have these sources, but you're not wrong, and it'll be coming out today. And I'll just say that it is unfortunate news for the basketball team, but more to come on that later today in the Bronco Nation News message boards and online at bronconationnews.com. So appreciate you guys for checking out the show today. Again, on a more positive note, please subscribe. Eli Jaramillo, we'd love to get you in there and send this thing down to Guatemala. We are giving away this Sun Cruiser golf bag. Very nice Sun Cruiser golf bag. Brand new from our friends at Sun Cruiser. It's free. It takes about 20 seconds to subscribe. Go to the very top of the comments, wherever the pinned comments are. I'm not sure where they're at. But there are some pinned comments, and you can click the link and subscribe. I also tweeted out the link. It's on Facebook as well. You pick 6 golfers. It's pretty easy. You put in your name and your email, and if you win, we'll give you the Sun Cruiser golf bag. I think we have some cases of Sun Cruiser for 2nd and 3rd place as well, so you can try out some Sun Cruisers. You just have to live in the Boise area, or you have to know somebody you can give the golf bag to that lives in the Boise area, or be willing to pay for the shipping yourself. I'm sorry, I just can't pay $100 or whatever it would cost to ship this thing, and actually lose money on this contest. So thanks to Sun Cruiser. You have till Thursday at 5 a.m. I would just do it right now and knock it out. It's pretty easy. Takes 30 seconds, and you can get in, and you don't even have to know much about golf because it's broken into tiers. So it's almost like the lottery. You just pick a golfer in this area, pick a golfer here. And maybe we can get some of our longtime listeners like Thaddeus Aldridge Eli Jaramillo, some of these guys to win this golf bag. That'd be great. So go do that, and then go check out BroncoNationNews.com. By the way, today is the last day for the 60% off. It ends at 10 p.m. Mountain Time tonight. If you're on the fence about subscribing, it's like $60 one-time payment for the full year. You get 60% off that first year. And then when it renews at the full price, you get Paramount Plus subscription included as well. So 60% off right now, our lowest offer, and it is going away at 10 p.m. tonight. So if you want all the recruiting news from Chris Van Sickle, all the analysis from Nathan Carroll, the Mike Prater columns, all the breaking news and the beat writing from myself, our team is covering Boise State as good as anybody. Daily shows, traveling home road with the team to provide you the coverage that you deserve as a Boise State fan. Well, you can jump in now. Final day, 60% off. So jump in today by 10 o'clock. Click the Join VIP up in the top or right-hand corner and subscribe. And you can do that for 60% off today, but that does end at 10 p.m. So do that by 10 p.m. Take advantage of this 60% offer before it's gone, and you get a full year of coverage all through football season, all through basketball season, portal season, recruiting, and then you won't have to worry about paying until June 15th next year. So final day, 60% off. Subscribe now at BroncoNationNews.com. Have a great rest of your day. We will have the basketball news posted online a little later this morning. Unfortunate basketball news, so stay tuned for that. And then we'll have more, we'll be back tomorrow to keep this countdown rolling with number 4. So go subscribe. Have a great day, and we'll see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.